Hi, this is Anna Segura with Illuminating Stories. Welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be diving into a story time of how I learned to tap into the love frequency as taught to me directly by the spirit world, proof that it is very real, and how you can do it too through a very, very simple method. In addition, I'm going to introduce you to what's known as the Hawkins Scale and how powerful the love frequency can be in helping you navigate these various emotional states. So if you want to learn how to feel pure love energy, then keep on watching. Right after my shamanic calling, I've been learning how to meditate and go on shamanic journeys. Back then, I was still very skeptical of any type of spiritual experiences, and I practically needed proof for everything. Fortunately, the spirit world was well aware of these tendencies. So every time I had a "but what about" moment, they always rose to the challenge to provide exactly the proof that I needed to confirm whatever the topic or experience was at hand. In this instance, I had just gotten the Muse headset, which essentially is a biofeedback tool to measure your brain activity during your meditations. And it has this really cool audible feedback mechanism to tell you if you're in the distraction zone, whether you're just neutral or you're in calm, deep meditative state that we refer to as the theta brainwave state. And to kind of quickly illustrate this, when you're distracted, you'll hear intensified nature sounds such as thunder to basically let you know, hey, your mind is wandering, get back in the zone. And when you are in that ideal target theta state, you'll start to hear these like really beautiful chirping sounds of birds. It basically helps you train yourself to get into this target meditative calm state more quickly and for longer periods of time. And the more you practice, the better you get. Anyway, I had just gotten the device and I was excited to start measuring my sessions. And on the first day, I got really self-conscious. I couldn't really meditate for that long, and the results were it was kind of horrible. And I'll share right here, actually. As you can see, I only hit the calm zone 23% of the time, and I only got 3 little bird chirps along the way. So it was kind of a sad session, to say the least. So naturally, I got discouraged, and a couple of days went by. The spirit world, out of nowhere, asked me to go try again. In the beginning, part of it was the same experience. And then the spirit world asked me to say the word love repeatedly over and over and over in my mind, as there was no context and I didn't understand why, but I did. As you may or may not know, words carry energy. What started happening was even the mere act of saying the word internally in my mind, almost immediately, I started to feel this rush of energy. And then the spirit world asked me to drop into my heart space and feel into the energy and the feeling of love. Now, here's when things got really interesting. As I became overwhelmed with this feeling and this energy of love, simultaneously, immediately, I started hearing this crazy sequence of birds chirping like nonstop. And I didn't know what was going on. All I know is I was immersed in that energy, and I didn't want it to stop. And so I will share the screenshot of the result here. So as you can see in the beginning, like I think there's like 2 or 3 birds, very spaced out. And you can clearly see the demarcation in that point in time when I started doing this exercise. And you can see it's just that straight line of these birds chirping compared to the first session with just 3 bird chirps. And when I saw the results back afterwards, I was floored, made me question what I knew up until that point as love. So a few days later, I repeated this process. This time I started off by repeating the word love and then tuning into the feeling of love. And as you can see, like in previous sessions, it took me a while to get into that deeper theta state. It happened immediately, followed by the rapid fire chirping of the birds to indicate that I was in the zone on a consistent basis. And so the end result, again, the difference is pretty remarkable. It started off rapid fire, and then you see the demarcation of that ending. That was my experiment to see, okay, I'm in the zone now. What if I stopped this process? Would this continue? And as you can see, it did not. And what happened over the course of the next couple of months was pretty remarkable, because using this method, I was able to enter the theta state really quickly and at will, which helped me immensely in my ability to go on shamanic journeys and to get into that deep meditative state to retrieve valuable insights and information, not only for my personal life, with my client sessions as well. And as you can see here, you can see I was able to achieve 79% calm with over 100 birds. And it was just throughout the entire duration. And I'm so sad because I don't have any recent data, because I actually lost the headset in one of my moves. But if you happen to have this device or a similar biofeedback tool, I encourage you to try this out for yourself and measure the results. But in any event, what I want you to take away from this is not only for the benefits of getting into that meditative state quickly. I think we all were conditioned to believe that the energy of love or the emotion of love is something that we can only give to other people or to receive from other people. But what I was shown through this experience is the energy of love, the emotion of love. We're capable of generating that from within. And it is not a complicated process. It is so simple. So that's a good segue into what I wanted to talk about next, and why this may actually become a valuable tool in your toolbox. So about 6 months after this experience, COVID hit, and I happened to come across what's known as the Hawkins Scale. And this tool essentially categorizes all of the various emotions into their respective vibrational frequency. So let me explain. As you may be aware, our perception of reality, our predominant thoughts and feelings about ourselves and those around us, are shaped by our upbringing, societal conditioning, life experiences, and relationship dynamics. But your predominant state of being, or your consciousness, is what shapes how you perceive and navigate whatever it is that may be going on in your life. So taking a look at the scale here, at the lower end of the scale, we find emotions such as fear, anger, sadness, which, as you can see, vibrate at lower frequencies, here represented by that number there. On the other hand, at the higher end, we encounter emotions like love, joy, peace, and as you can see, which vibrates at a much higher frequency. Essentially, our emotion is energy in motion. Now, it's important to note that every emotion on this scale serves an important purpose in our growth. Lower vibrational emotions are not necessarily bad because it's telling you something. And actually, in my personal experience, they serve as powerful catalysts for cultivating self-love, self-respect, and self-worth. It teaches you how to protect yourself from future harm by establishing healthy boundaries and what you should and should not tolerate. And what's really interesting is because we're not truly taught how to process and heal from our traumas and life experiences, and even shamed for having feelings, saying having emotion makes you weak? Absolutely not. I used to think that as well, but that could not be further from the truth. But by believing this, we often get stuck in what's considered survival mode, which is the lower level emotions that I've highlighted here. And it keeps us stuck in this cycle that makes us so susceptible to various manipulation tactics and abuse from others. And in order to move through these emotions and evolve our consciousness up the scale, you have to feel your emotions. You don't want to bypass or suppress them. You don't want to distract yourself. You have to process them. Because if you don't feel it, you cannot release it. Hence the saying, you have to feel to heal. Allow those emotions to reveal the wisdom of your current reality. You may actually be surprised what you learn about yourself and the situation when you actually lean into them. And that being said, one of the tools that you can utilize when moving through these various lower vibrational emotions, so to speak, is to connect with your heart space and invite the energy of love. Close your eyes and just kind of focus your attention to your heart and do what the spirit world suggested. Start by repeating the word love. It's almost like by saying the word repeatedly, it activates that energy within you. Allow that energy to envelope your entire state of being. And then from that space, ask, what is this experience showing me? What wisdom and or lessons can you take away from this to help you navigate the situation in alignment with your highest good and purpose? Just wait for the wisdom, the epiphanies, and the revelations to come to you. And when you receive it, be sure to write it down, journal it, let it marinate. You may actually be pleasantly surprised at how quickly the answers come to you and the immediate shift in your perspective and state of being that follows. Love is a powerful force that resides in all of us. It's not something you have to depend on anyone outside of yourself for, like we were conditioned to believe, right? And we can generate it on our own at will simply by repeating the word love and tuning into the feeling of it. This love energy and frequency comes directly from God, source, spirit, whoever you believe in, that higher power that resides in our heart space. This energy was meant to be activated with ease. On a related note, in my next video, I'm going to dive deeper into the concept of self-love and why it's so hard for so many of us to learn how to love ourselves. This was actually a question that I asked God and Spirit as I was learning how to truly love myself, perhaps for the first time in my life. So much of what we tolerate from others is a reflection of how we view ourselves. And it's been 2 years since my divorce now, and the answer I received then has been very instrumental in my ability to cultivate self-love in a way that I deserved all along. And I hope that it can help you on your journey as well. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos on energy healing and related topics. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.